Hello, Carl Grace here of Grace's Perfect Blend. Over the last number of months, I've been posting videos on our YouTube channel showing how to use our strong blend cooking chicken at home, how I was taught how to cook chicken, and how to get the best results from our breading using it at home. And there's also one there with our gravy, our new product, which we are very proud of. In the series of videos that I did, there's also a video there of when I happened to be in Dublin on the 25th of May of 2023 this year, and it just happened to be the anniversary of the day my dad opened his first Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant. So I just did a short video that's up there on the YouTube channel as well. The reason I'm doing this series of videos is because there's lots of half-truths, urban myths, Chinese whispers, whatnot of my dad. So we want to clear that up and give a bit more history about my dad, how he started out and got to where we are today. So, first and foremost, my dad was Irish. He was born in 1933 and grew up in a small village which was Portroe, County Tipperary. He grew up on a farm, and then in 1957 he emigrated to Canada. So when he arrived in Canada, he had numerous different jobs. One was, I think his first job was window cleaning. Then he worked on a horse farm. He then started working as sales reps for different companies. One was Simonaz. They sell car-related products, cleaning products, stuff like that. He then got a job with Carnation Food Company. Now, Carnation at the time, they used to sell French fries and other food-related products into restaurants and fast food takeaways in the Ontario province. My dad was given a region of St. Catharines and Niagara, which is now known as the Golden Horseshoe. So he would have been a sales rep in those areas, and one of his customers was a couple of franchisees of Kentucky Fried Chicken, and he sold French fries to these restaurants. Over the time that he worked as a Carnation sales rep, he became friendly with the owners of these businesses and would always stop in when he was in the area, and he developed a real love of Kentucky Fried Chicken. One year, it was around 1967, he was working at a trade show for Carnation on a stand, and this one particular day that my dad was working, Colonel Sanders happened to be at the trade show. So he saw Colonel Sanders walking towards his stand, and my dad was very confident and forthright. So he stepped out from behind the stand and went over to Colonel Sanders and said, "Hello, I'm Pat Grace and I love your product." They chatted for a minute or two, and this was the first time my dad met Colonel Sanders. So over the years, my dad had wanted to move home back to Ireland and set up a business. He had been looking at the idea of building a small hotel or a small B&B and on some family land they had. But he had seen Kentucky Fried Chicken grow as a business in Toronto and through his sales repping days, and he thought there's nothing like this in Ireland, and it would be a fantastic business to start up and grow in Ireland at the time. So he went about trying to find out how he would become a Kentucky Fried Chicken franchisee. At that time, there was a franchisor based in the UK named Ray Allen, so he reached out to him to see if he could become a franchisee. There was numerous phone calls back and forth, and they had started the process. Ray Allen then decided to come out to Toronto to meet Colonel Sanders and invited my dad, who was still living in Toronto at the time, to come and meet Colonel Sanders with him. And I'm going to attach a photo here of the time they went to this meeting. This was the second time that my dad met Colonel Sanders. They met, they chatted, and they got on quite well. So after that meeting, my dad pushed quite hard to get a franchise open in Ireland. So he decided to move back to Ireland to secure premises, which happened to be in Phibsborough Shopping Centre. It was a new shopping centre on the north side of Dublin City. Ray Allen started dragging his heels, and Dad was getting very frustrated about not getting the deal over the line. So he contacted Colonel Sanders directly and said, I'm having issues, I can't get it over the line. So Colonel Sanders invited my dad and his brother Michael out to visit him in Kentucky. My dad went out, and eventually they got the deal over the line. Colonel Sanders said to my dad at the time, "Don't use my name or anything to do with Kentucky Fried Chicken." But my dad was pretty adamant he wanted to use the Kentucky Fried Chicken name over the door of his shop. So Dad was not a registered franchisee of Kentucky Fried Chicken at the time. So he used the name Colonel Sanders Kentucky Fried Chicken over the door, and I'm going to attach a photo of the shop. Yes, it's not a great photo, but that's the best one I could find of the time. Look, there was no smartphones or disposable cameras or Polaroids back then, so this is the best picture I could find of that shop. So that shop opened on the 25th of May 1970. So I'm going to break this video down, or this series down, into 4 or 5 more parts, because there's a huge amount of information. This is the first part about how my dad started, and over the next few videos I will go into more detail about my dad's friendship with Colonel Sanders and how he went on to have several shops, 7 Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurants, became a registered franchisee of Kentucky Fried Chicken, and then broke away. And I will bring it up to where we are today at Grace's Perfect Blend. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you soon.